Hi everyone, Lou here, and welcome back to Simple Chain Together. I think by now we've covered most of the obstacles you'd expect in a platformer, but if you feel something is missing, let me know in the comments and we can always add more. Today, we're going to make our game support simple local multiplayer. Remember, this is Simple Chain Together, so we're going to keep it local multiplayer. That means on the main menu, you'll be able to pick single player or multiplayer, and when the game starts, it will create either one or two players side by side. This is just the first step, no chains yet, no shared camera yet. We just want both layers to exist in the scene so we can build on that later. If you're ready, let's get started. I'm opening my menu scene and I already have my play button and my load last checkpoint button. If you missed it, here's a link to that episode. Now, I want to give the player a choice between single player and multiplayer. So on my canvas, I'm going to select my play button and rename it to single player. Then I duplicate it, rename the copy multiplayer, and position them how I like. Now let's set up the code for these buttons. In my menu controller script, I'm going to update the start game method and add a new start multiplayer method. Here, we set multiplayer to 0 in the player prefs. It means single player mode. Then we create another method called start multiplayer and we set multiplayer to 1 in player prefs, which means multiplayer mode. Now let's save and go back. In Unity, for the multiplayer button, go to the unclick section and pick multiplayer. Now that the menu is ready, let's prepare the player prefab. I go to the game scene, I drag my player object from the hierarchy into my project window to make it a prefab. I delete the player from the hierarchy. Then I open the prefab and reset the root position to 0, 0, 0. This makes sure it spawns exactly where we tell it. And hey, look at that! My disappearing platforms reference is set to none. This happens because a prefab cannot store a direct link to a scene object. When we spawn the player, Unity doesn't know which disappearing platforms in the scene it should use. Let's fix that as well. I create an empty game object in my main scene. Let's call it player spawner. And let's give this a script called player spawner. Let's open up the player spawner. Public variable to drag your player pref into from the inspector. Reads multiplayer from player prefs. Defaults to 0, single player if not found. It sets 2 spawn positions so players appear side by side. It finds the disappearing platforms script already in the scene so we can assign it to each player's reference. If multiplayer creates player 1 at position 1 and gives it the disappearing platform reference. Creates player 2 at position 2 and gives it the disappearing platform reference. If single player only spawns player 1. Then I drag my player prefab into the player prefab slot in the inspector. Now let's hit play. I choose single player. I got 1 player in the scene. Let's go back and choose multiplayer. I get 2, but on top of each other. Okay, so both of our players are created, which is a good thing, but right now they're spawning right on top of each other. That's because in our player controller script, we have this respawn call inside start. It basically ignores the position we set in our player spawner and moves the player back to a default position. And since that default is the same for both, they overlap. For now, I'm going to comment out this respawn call so they keep the positions we set when instantiating them. This means checkpoints won't work at game start, but that's fine for this episode. Now, if I choose multiplayer again, both players spawn exactly where we told them to. Perfect, side by side. That's all we wanted. And that's it for this episode. We now have our main menu with single player and multiplayer buttons, and the ability to spawn 1 or 2 players in the scene. Next time, we'll start connecting them together with a chain so they can't go too far apart. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!